Let's get to a bright spot.
I'm doing all right, getting good grades. The future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
Lewis, there was a unanimous ruling out of the Supreme Court today, and that may be a bright spot in and of itself. But what really makes this...
Wait a minute. Did they decide that Donald Trump was bad?
No, that wasn't it.
Orange man bad?
No.
Unanimous Supreme Court decision?
No, that wasn't
Okay,
it.
all right.
What really makes this a bright spot is what the ruling was about. This is Fulton versus the city of Philadelphia.
What was this all about?
The city of Philadelphia uses an independent foster care placement groups to help it deal with kids in emergencies. So in order to place kids in the foster care program, they have these different charitable organizations that will help them place them with foster care families.
I heard about this.
All right?
I remember months ago.
One of the agencies they have used extensively in the past is Catholic Social Services. They've used Catholic Social Services for 50 years.
Well, the president is Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean, what could Catholics do wrong?
Well, being Catholic, they believe that marriage is a sacred institution between one man and one woman, and as such, they won't place foster kids in a home with same-sex couples, as that would essentially be a tacit endorsement of something that goes against the teachings of their faith, and frankly, against the teachings of most faiths. Yes?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that would say, you know, just because someone is not heterosexual doesn't mean that they can't provide loving care for a child, especially one that has an emergency need like you're describing.
It doesn't matter what someone else says. It matters what the Catholic Church, the Catholic Social Services believes in their faith. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Okay.
It matters their religious freedom.
So what did the Supreme Court say about that freedom?
In 2018, the city of Philadelphia pretty much out of the blue decided to tell the Catholic Church that God was wrong. They said, either give the kids to same-sex couples or we'll stop doing business with you. By the way, no one had lodged a complaint against Catholic Social Services and the way they operated. It was the city who decided to do this on their own. So the city, a government established by the people, decided to prevent a Catholic church from exercising its faith. They decided to discriminate against the church because of their faith. So the church sued. But lower courts kept siding with the city and sided against the First Amendment. It's stunning to think that these lower court judges could get something this wrong, but they did time and again. Well, the Supreme Court put it pretty simply in their unanimous decision. Here's what they wrote. The refusal of Philadelphia to contract with CSS for the provision of foster care services unless CSS agrees to certify same-sex couples as foster parents violates the free exercise clause of the First Amendment. Period. Government fails to act neutrally when it proceeds in a manner intolerant of religious beliefs or restricts practices because of their religious nature. That was from Chief Justice Roberts.
Right, because this Catholic Social Service organization wasn't imposing their belief systems on all the other social agencies that were doing the same job.
Right. They just said, this is how we're going to operate.
Right. Their set of criteria in evaluating who was appropriate for this child, for a child in need, was simply different. It wasn't more harmful necessarily. And I know some folks may disagree with that.
But, well, the data actually says not. They've been successful for 50 years in placing kids in child care.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Where are the complaints?
Right.
Where are the...
They don't exist. Now, the court case also referenced Masterpiece Cake Shop case. Remember, that's out of Colorado.
Jack.
Right. Jack.
Forget his last name.
Okay. Anyway, Jack.
Jack the cake maker.
That's an important case because it highlights just how far away from the Constitution the left is strayed. It got me thinking, man, the left hates the Bill of Rights. They don't like the 10th Amendment. They hate the Second Amendment. They're clearly hostile to the First Amendment, both in freedom of speech and in freedom of religion and free exercise, right to assembly. The left cut down your right to assembly this last year. They like the Fourth Amendment, what applies to them, but if they're trying to prosecute Donald Trump, then screw the Fourth Amendment. They do like the Eighth Amendment against excessive bail. They've done away with all bail in some cities, which isn't a good idea, but at least there's a couple parts of the Bill of Rights the left isn't trying to destroy. Fulton v. Philadelphia is important because it defends the religious freedoms we all have, and it's a dark stain that it ever got to the Supreme Court. Lower courts should have crushed it long before now.
Absolutely.
And the city of Philadelphia should have never even tried to do it in the first place.
And yet those on the left say they are the most tolerant ones.
That's a lie. That is a flat-out lie. And this case proves it.